100% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Ohio, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, and enter your city or zip to find the closest location nearest you.
We are cold for energy. Send it.
Incoming!
Put the money in the bag, man.
As I said, your paycheck is your thank you.
What's going on back there? This is
Welcome to Earth! No. Who's flying the plane? Get cockpit. Go! God.
Black Rifle Energy, dropping near you.
Welcome to Drinkin Bro. Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros Fake News, everybody. Bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. Real news here at the top. I got caught. Red-handed with Lovebird. This protein granola, my God, man. Somebody get this bag out of my face before I eat the entire thing. Have we gone through the rest of that box, Bob? Is that all gone back there?
I think there might be some cereal left, but the granola has been pillaged.
Whew, boy, I took the cereal home to my kids, so I'll have an answer for you on that tomorrow. But that granola is lights out. What's up? Is it drinking? What's the promo code for Lovebird? I'm just a huge fan. I don't really care.
Let me double check on the air.
This is a total accident. I just got caught eating a mouthful of granola, so I apologize out there. Welcome to the show, everybody. Top of the show here. Got a live show coming up next Friday night in Tampa, January 30th at the Food Mart, 6 to 8 p.m. next Friday night. It is right next to the parade routes for the Gasparilla Fest. So you can come, buy some Hard AF Seltzer, and then just walk the streets and booze. It's shit. What is it? 1955 West Cass Street. That's the address, Tampa, Florida. Join us January 30th, next Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Food Mart. Plenty of Hard AF to buy, and you can take it with you on the go. Tall boys will be there. 12 packs will be there. Can't wait to see your lovely faces. I know Reed's going to be there. Juan's going to be there. Charles Zeller hit me up. He's going to be there. Our day one homies, dude. Our friends, our community. Love doing these shows and love getting to hang out with you guys. We will see you next Friday night. Have some laughs, some giggles, and whatever happens after that happens after that. Let's go. In the meantime, getting ready for this winter storm that is sweeping the nation over the next week. D'Anthony, do you want to give everybody some cold tips here? Because you're usually pretty good at this, because I feel like now's the time to warn people before it gets too late. Last night I went to H-E-B. They were already out of water, already out of a lot of things already. So people are stocking up. What do people really need here?
Well, first, just don't panic. People do dumb shit when they panic. This is a pretty decent checklist that I use myself whenever there's going to be kind of a inclement situation, whether it's weather or anything else. The first thing you should do is act. Action beats inaction, right? So don't do nothing. Make sure that you have the proper supplies that you need. The first place you should start is by prepping your home and your vehicle, just in case anything were to happen. I don't know how much you're going to be driving around, but if you do have to bug out, make sure that you got fuel in your car, right? Stuff like that.
Just did that last night, by the way.
Just as a general rule, you shouldn't park your car in your driveway with less than half a tank of gas ever, to be frank, but we all do it sometimes. First thing with your house, go around your house, and if there's any drafty areas, big bay windows or doors to the outside, like a mudroom door that has some kind of seal problem.
Cats or dogs, those little doors for them.
Yeah, any of that stuff. Seal that stuff up. You can use towels, probably just lie them down there, or you can use duct tape or weather stripping or something like that, I guess. I would say designate a warm room in your house. If you think that the power is going to go out, and if you're in one of those areas where it's going to get really cold, designate a warm room in your house and move all the furniture from the exterior walls, if they're around there, to as close to the center as possible. If you have wood fire, that's even better. Make that your warm room and put all your stuff around there. Obviously, make sure that there's ventilation. Mm-hmm. If you start seeing smoke back up, you're better off wrapping up in a blanket than you are getting carbon monoxide poisoning or whatever. But stockpile whatever supplies you think you're going to need. I mean, it's not going to be longer than a couple of days. So water and some food, stuff that's not perishable preferably. High-calorie stuff is usually better, stuff that's high in fat, like fatty beef jerky or cooked bacon. If you got a bunch of bacon in your house, just cook it all right now.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
The more fat,
I'll have a bacon party tonight.
The more fat something has, the more calories it has, typically speaking. Don't forget any medication you might need, pet food, baby formula, if that applies to you. Any kind of sanitation stuff that you need, like antiseptic wipes or anything in case there's no water. Sanitation is always the first thing that gets fucked up. When it comes to power outages, obviously charge up all your devices and all your portable chargers and all that stuff to 100%. Put them all in low power mode. If you, as soon as you think you're going to lose power, put them all in low power mode. You can continue to use them if you need them, but it'll make sure that the power doesn't go out. I use a radio, an old school radio to get emergency updates and stuff, but I mean, I wouldn't really worry about that, to be honest. This isn't a big enough deal. Flashlights, lanterns, extra batteries for anything you have. I guess some people still use candles. Whatever you have, whatever you use in that regard, make sure you have it. If you've got a generator, make sure you got fuel for it. Make sure that it's at least 20 feet from your house. Right? I mean, it's supposed to be. Some of those Generac ones aren't, but make sure you got layers. Make sure you have dry clothes. Extra layers, socks. Then, of course, the vehicle I mentioned before, but winterize your vehicle. Make sure you have the right kind of antifreeze in it. Make sure the battery's charged. Snow gear in it. I would put some in there. If you're going to be away from your house for any amount of time, I would put something warm in there and just leave it in there. And again, make sure you got ice scrapers and make sure you have fuel in the vehicle. And then have a plan, if your family's going to be in different places and then coming back to one place, have a plan for contact and have a plan for a rally point if you get separated or anything like that. Just standard stuff. You should always have this stuff anyways. And then, once it passes, obviously, just be safe in general.
Yeah.
Like, don't get through everything and then slip on something and crack your head open the next day. That would be dumb. But yeah, that's about it. That's what I do.
Okay. Yeah, because it's hitting here in Dallas right around tomorrow afternoon. Austin Saturday night. The rest of the country, though, is supposed to go through some shit for like a week. And it could be rough where you're at. Just remember to take care of all this stuff in advance, man. Like I said, at our local grocery store for our neighborhood, they were out of a lot of shit already. So people are stocking up.
Yeah.
Booze was one of them. Half the booze was gone. I know there was only one 12-pack of Hard AF left.
It's always like that.
Maybe 5 tall boys at our grocery store. It was like, God damn, dude.
Yeah. And then make sure if you're in one of the colder areas, like if it's going to be 15 degrees or lower for more than a day or two, I would recommend winterizing the house too. So get those whatever those thermal things are and put them on any of your faucet or your spigots outside.
Yep.
Take the hose off of it and put that thing on it and cinch it up really tight. And then if it drops below 15 for more than, let's say, 4 or 5 hours, I just go to the sinks that are closest to the outside of your house. Like obviously, if you have a kitchen island in the very middle of your house, I wouldn't do it there. But if you have bathrooms around the perimeter of your house, just turn those on really low, the sink or the tub or something like that, like extremely low, just to make sure the water keeps flowing so it doesn't freeze up and do what happens to you almost every year.
Yeah, man. I mean, luckily I'm in a different house this year, but that's a great point. If you are in older houses, especially in Texas, we have a lot of listeners in Texas. These copper pipes, man, that were installed back in the day, that's what kept bursting, like all over my house. The first one I had here was older, and then we purchased another one when we had whoopsie daisy child, so I had to get an extra bedroom. But yeah, that's luckily won't be a problem for me now at this house.
Well, typically, I mean, I guess it depends. If your house was built after 2005, usually you don't have to worry, although the construction on homes between 2019 and 2024, I'm told, is a little suspect in certain areas of the country.
The pipes are okay.
I think the pipes are okay. I think it's mostly about the wood and drywall.
Yes.
That are more issues, like creating water damage from not from the water lines, but from outside the house. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Usually they use a different kind of pipe, and they also insulate them pretty well. So, yeah.
Yeah. And if there's any listeners out there that, you know, just need to build a fire in the backyard here, there's a fucking thing set up if you want. If you're that desperate. Yeah. We still got Hans Kim's van back there. If you want to blow that up for heat, feel free.
Yeah, also find out, before it snows, find out where your outdoor water shutoff is. Like, know where it is.
Oh, and yes. God, that's important. Yes.
If you have the ability to do it, put like a flag on it, you know, so you'll be able to find it if it snows or ices over. Because if sometimes no matter what you do, some shit's going to go wrong. That's true in every facet of life, so be prepared for that. And the best thing you can do if the water line bursts in your house is to walk out there and turn the entire system off before your house is flooded.
And to that point, I'm very glad you brought that up. I want to give a shout out to Michael and Carrie, my old neighbors in that neighborhood. By the time the pipes had burst, there was already, I think, 4 or 5 inches on the ground. So not only did I not know where it was, but then you had to dig through the snow to try to find it, man, because I didn't have a flag or anything set up. And everybody, when we moved to Texas, said, "I don't ever snow here, man. You're good." It was a once in a lifetime storm. That seems to happen literally every single year. We've been here for six years now. What he said about that is one of the most important things, because I didn't know, and if it weren't for my neighbors helping me dig through the snow to try to find it all over the goddamn yard, it's not where you typically think it is every time for whatever reason, so make sure you know where that's at. And that's just some friendly warnings for you here at the top, just in case you forgot. Bob, how deep is this thing going? I mean, it's what I've heard on the news last night. It's all over the nation, right?
Yeah, it's all over the whole country. We're obviously not getting it, except for like Florida. We're obviously not getting it as bad as more northern parts, but it'll be here.
Okay, yeah.
Somebody, G Urban in the chat said Ted Cruz already left for Cancun last week.
By the way, I don't think he's joking. So no, there is a rumor that Ted Cruz had plans to take a trip.
No, he went to Florida, I think.
Okay, well, come home, bro.
Why?
This is your state. You're repping your state.
What's he got to do?
I mean,
look, I'm pretty sure I'm not the biggest Ted Cruz fan in the world, but I don't think he's a fucking plumber.
It's just the optics.
And he definitely can't control the weather.
Just the optics. You're still going to have to give you interviews for your state, man.
Why?
Man.
He's a senator.
Doesn't matter.
He represents a state on the federal level. If there's a state of emergency declared, then I guess he can do that. I mean, that's the governor's job. It's not his. I don't understand why.
Wheelchair was out there by himself today. That's all I'll say. Optics
that's because it's his job.
Still, optics do not look great if you're abandoning your state to go somewhere else.
You chose the word abandoning.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, but that's not relevant. That's not. It's
what the fuck's he doing in Florida?
Who cares?
What was he doing in Cancun?
It went to his. The Austin mayor went to his daughter's wedding down there. But that was during COVID.
Yeah, that wasn't during the storm.
That wasn't a storm. What was Cruz doing?
He was just partying.
So the first time the optics were really bad, just because he was like, and look, other rich people would do this too, but he was essentially like, oh boy, there's no power, nothing. He put his whole family on a flight, like, let's get out of here, go somewhere warmer because we can afford to, basically.
Yeah, I mean, look, you should definitely subject your family to suffering if it looks bad publicly not to. That's fucking stupid. I'm just, come on, man.
If you're an elected official and you're for the people, by the people, and you want to spew that bullshit that you're for the people every fucking day, you should be out there helping. I don't like that fucking dude from...
Well, what's he supposed to do,
I don't like that dude from North Carolina. Remember the black candidate who was running?
Robinson, the guy from Fat Black Whores.
Oh, that was our favorite.
I can't remember what the name of the
What was the worst
was.
sexual website ever created? We covered that story.
Man, it was like...
We'll get that fixed.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Let me. I have to check actually because I don't even remember. It was something insane.
It was so good, but to his credit, he was the literal only person there during the hurricanes, helping those people out and doing the press interviews and all that.
Yeah, because he had spent all of his money on that porn site.
Hey, man, even you can still spend all your money on porn and then be for the people, by the people. Like for me, I didn't care that he was looking at fat black asses.
Nude?
No, that's what he likes.
Nude Africa.
Nude Africa, that's it. Yeah, he should be. I mean, just to be clear, he should be looking at that if that's what he likes.
Totally.
But yeah, I just don't. What exactly is it that you expect Ted Cruz to do?
Come on air and just quell the people and go make some visits and say,
but
hey.
that's just performative nonsense. It doesn't actually do anything.
Sometimes you need it. It's all psychological. Everything is psychological. Every single thing, dude.
No, that's crazy.
It is not.
No.
If you take that job, you were supposed to be for the people, by the people. I want to see you on TV. Tell me everything's going to be all right.
So what other responsibilities does Senator Ted Cruz have when bad things happen?
When bad things happen, if it's in your states, you got to be in the states.
Well, how bad does the thing have to be?
So I'll say this. I'll go all the natural disasters. And then if there's some form of like murder or something like in the Senate or something like that where it's just like, oh, shit, this is bad. Or you got to have some press conference at the border. Today was Wheelchairs press conference. So they broke into every local station this morning. Mm-hmm. That motherfucker was able to wheel up, dude.
That's his job.
Roll up and do it.
The senator of
I want to see him flanked by everybody in this state.
A United States senator nor a United States representative has any jurisdiction inside of their own state.
I don't think Dan is wrong, but I will put it this way.
PR-wise.
To Ross's point. If Ted Cruz is the type of person who would dunk on somebody else for doing that, which he is.
He has
he
done
definitely. Well, I don't know.
Times.
I don't know if he's done that specifically, but he's definitely.
He did. Karen Bass. He did it for Karen Bass when she left to go to Ghana.
But she's the mayor of the city. That is her job.
Would absolutely.
If there's a crisis at my company and the janitor is on vacation, I don't get
Just say
angry.
you don't care about optics or looking bad.
I
that's
definitely
what it is.
don't. I think that's a ridiculous way to judge somebody. Like I'm way more concerned about the things he believes and how he votes than I am about if he's present for something that he has nothing to do with.
What do you remember about Ted Cruz right now?
He looks like a gay mortician. That's what I.
Yep, that's one.
Yeah.
Great. That's optics.
Yeah.
What's two?
I have nothing.
Queso, actually.
Queso is number two, correct, Bob?
Oh, yeah.
What's Family Feud? What's number three about Ted Cruz?
Yeah, but to be fair, Cubans should not be talking about queso. They don't even do that. What was he talking about?
It's the optics. Number three on Family Feud. What do you remember about Ted Cruz?
It's the Cancun is the top.
Correct.
For sure.
God, Bob, we just nailed it. I mean, literally nailed it. One by one by one.
But
I don't know dick all about what he's done publicly.
I will just say, like, he opens himself up for that type of criticism because those are absolutely the type of things he flings at other people.
Right. And let's reverse it with Trump. Trump has talked so much shit about everything else. The difference is Trump has done so much fucking great shit that you're like, all right, cool. I don't give a fuck if this guy's an asshole. And I'd feel the same way about Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, unfortunately, hasn't done dick for this state. Property taxes, homeboy. We can start with that one. Just got that bill that I got to figure out after the show. So, yeah, I want you here. I don't really give a fuck.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have any authority inside the state of Texas. You know that.
Then why do we have a senator?
Because he represents the state at the federal level. They don't get to the federal government doesn't decide anything about property tax. As a matter of fact, the governor doesn't, nor does the legislature. It's the individual counties that decide that. Now, wheelchair and the legislature could make it illegal or change the rules about it, which they've done nothing about. Harrison is the only guy in Texas government that's worth a shit, in my opinion. I'm sure there are others, I just don't know him, but he's the only one that's vocal about how gay our fucking leadership is here. But, yeah, I think the biggest thing that Cruz has done for the state of Texas and for the country is the amicus brief for D.C. versus Heller. Heller is the thing that will eventually lead to nationwide constitutional carry, right?
How long? But how long will that take?
I don't know. The first brief was filed in 2003. That's how long it's taken so far.
So I don't think he'll be dead before that ever passes.
No, I don't. I think it'll be in the next administration, actually, or maybe this one. It might be next year. I don't think they'll rule on it during this year's SCOTUS rulings in May and June because there's just too much other shit going on. But I think it'll come up next year.
All I will remember that motherfucker is the top three that you said: queso and Cancun, bro.
I think a bigger thing about him is his the fact that he was born in Canada.
Fuck, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
God
damn.
damn.
That's the most notable thing about him.
I'd keep that buried way down deep inside then.
That also Trump kind of shitting on his wife and him being like, stop.
Well, it's Ted Cruz, guys. What's he going to do? What's Ted Cruz going to do about that, you know? Now, if you were making fun of Lindsey Graham's boyfriend, we'd have another story on our hands. We'd have heated rivalry inside the Senate, dude. I would like to see him, Schumer and Lindsey Graham, fuck on screen on Netflix, dude. Heated Congress. Give me that love story that I've never seen before. All right, kids, top story. Jack Hill gets grilled on the Hill. And Jack Smith, sorry. Gets grilled on the Hill in his first public testimony before Congress about his investigations into President Donald Trump. Former special counsel Jack Smith warned Americans not to take the rule of law for granted and insisted he would not be intimidated by the president despite his attacks. Boy, that seems to be the playbook PR-wise for all these fucking guys. I have seen how the rule of law can erode. My fear is that we have seen the rule of law function in this country for so long that many of us have come to take it for granted. Smith said during testimony before the House Judiciary Committee, but the rule of law is not self-executing. It depends on our collective commitment to apply it. It requires dedicated service on behalf of others, especially when that service is difficult and comes with costs. Our willingness to pay those costs is what tests and defines our commitment to the rule of law in this wonderful country. God, if I had a fucking tiny violin, I would play it right now for this fuck. Go ahead and play him getting dressed down by Jim Jordan here first.
Yes, sir, we did.
Yes, you did. And the subpoena covered the time period between November 2020 and January 2021.
That's the wrong clip. Jim Jordan first, please.
This is the Benny Johnson one, right?
No. Jim Jordan, there you go.
Sorry.
That's all right. We'll go to that one next.
You and Mr. Chairman, I yield back to you.
Gentleman yields back. Mr. Smith, is Cassidy Hutchinson a liar? She was their star witness, January 6th committee, their star witness in one of those staged and choreographed hearings they paid the former president of ABC News to put together. She was, in fact, the only witness at this special prime time hearing, Tuesday, June 28th, 2022, 8 o'clock in the evening, and she told some stories. I mean, these were some stories. She talked about President lunged across the back seat, grabbed the steering wheel, tried to drive the car to the Capitol. And I just want to know, you think she was lying?
Chairman Jordan, my assessment of that particular issue is that with respect to the testimony about the president lunging towards the driver, my recollection of her testimony about that is that it was secondhand. She had said she'd heard that from somebody.
You familiar with the name Tony Ornato?
I'm sorry?
You familiar with the name Tony Ornato?
Yes.
White House Deputy Chief of Operations, Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations, right? You remember what he said about it?
As I sit here right now, I do not.
Yeah, he said it didn't happen. How about Bobby Engel? You familiar with that name?
Yes, I am.
Secret Service agent who was actually in the car that day. You know what he said? He said it didn't happen. And they both said the first time they ever heard this story was when Ms. Hutchinson testified in the primetime hearing as their star witness of the January 6th committee. By the way, did you ever confirm her testimony about this particular incident?
We conducted, as I said before, our own independent investigation of all aspects of the case that we thought was relevant. We, attorneys from my office.
Did you ever confirm it? That's a simple question.
Well, We interviewed her, I should say, attorneys in my office before.
Did you ever confirm the president leaping across the seat, grabbing the steering wheel, this whole concoction she brought up in the January 6th hearing? Did you ever confirm that?
Right. We interviewed another firsthand witness who was in the car who did not confirm that had happened, but also...
in your deposition to the committee last month, Mr. Smith, you said this: my recollection with Ms. Hutchinson was a number of the things that she gave evidence on were secondhand hearsay. You remember making that statement to us last month in the deposition?
I did, and I was referring particularly to what we're talking about now.
Yeah, and you also said Ms. Hutchinson, regarding this particular claim, was a second or even third-hand witness. We asked you, if you were a defense attorney, how would you handle cross-examining her if she was on the witness stand? And you said, if I were a defense attorney and Ms. Hutchinson were a witness, the first thing I would do was seek to preclude her testimony because it was hearsay. You remember saying all that?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
That's correct, right? Were you going to put her on the witness stand if you ever got to trial?
We had not made final determinations as to who we were going to call as a witness. We had a large...
You were still considering her?
We had a large choice of witnesses in this case.
Are you familiar with what Washington Post reporters Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis said in their book? They did this book, 300-some pages book on chronicling the whole investigation of the Justice Department. And here's what they said on page 310. They said, Jack Smith had wondered whether some of Hutchinson's claims might be relied upon at trial. Still, at one point, Smith told the elections team he wasn't ready to give up on Hutchinson's account. Ultimately, however, Trump administration officials uniformly, fiercely disputed her accounts under oath. Prosecutors on your team told Smith they wouldn't want to use Hutchinson as a witness in court, and Smith agreed. Are Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis, who wrote this, are they lying?
My recollection is that I certainly had not made any final determinations about who we were going to call.
And that's the point. That is the point. The fact that they used her in a primetime hearing and you won't rule out using her, or didn't rule out using her, putting her on the witness stand when everybody knows she wasn't telling the truth, that says it all. That's the degree the left and Democrats were willing to go to get President Trump, putting on the witness stand someone everybody knows is making it up.
He's so good at this, isn't he?
Everybody knows
Jim Jordan
that.
is so good at this.
And you were willing to do. By the way, you know how many times Cassidy Hutchinson was mentioned in their report, the January 6th report? Any idea, Mr. Smith?
I agree. Why didn't they move him up?
I do not.
185 times. Someone that the whole country knows wasn't telling the truth, and you were still considering putting her on the witness stand because you had to get President Trump. And everybody can see that. We better take a recess for...
Okay, you can stop it here. So Jim Jordan, first of all, is masterful at this. He usually goes first in these hearings. He's always armed with facts. What is his background? Is he a lawyer? Because he is always the first clip that you play in any of these hearings on the Hill. And I'm with you, Dan. Why have they not moved this guy up? Is it because there was smoke in his past, allegedly? Like, I can't figure it out.
Jordan? No, I mean, he's a top-level guy.
How far, though, did he get to, and where else could he go, I guess?
I don't know. I mean, he went to, he started at Ohio State.
Sure
which
did.
is a problem already.
Yeah. Well, that's, by the way, that's where his problem started.
But yeah, he was, no shit.
Jim Jordan is GYM there for a reason.
He connected to the wrestling thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which, look, just a couple of 18-year-old boys wrestling, dude. Very Abraham Lincoln-like, but it usually leads to gay shit.
But I'm not seeing a turn. He does have a JD, but I don't know if he practiced much, because at least on his Wikipedia, it goes from coach to being in the Ohio Assembly.
Okay, yeah.
So I think he got into politics in the early 90s, so he's been doing it for a while.
Okay, very, very good at this. Now, the clip that we played here that I think is important, because that's what kind of kicked all this off, was the January 6th stuff. So Trump got charged in D.C. for J6. He got charged in Florida for the illegal documents case. He got charged in Georgia, in Fulton County specifically, for Fannie. Oh, Fannie. Which that whole fucking case blew up yesterday. Not only would Trump have won that, if I were him, I would go back and fucking sue after that trial that we played earlier in the week of the 380,000 missing ballots when he lost the state by 12,000. I would sue the fuck out of them if I'm Trump.
Yeah. I mean, he's got plenty of lawsuits going on right now. He's got what, $10 billion against BBC.
Who was the new one you told me today? $5 billion against
Jamie Dimon and J.P. Morgan Chase
for debanking him.
For debanking him.
They
for
debanked us
reasons,
as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So fuck J.P. Morgan Chase.
Yeah.
Happy to say that all goddamn day long. And then the other one was in New York, and that was over what they said he did some business deals that was where they said Mar-a-Lago was worth like $20 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they said 18 million, I think, and there's one property on. I mean, if you consider the holding a property, but there's one carve out on Mar-a-Lago that it alone is worth like fucking $80 million.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's hard. Like even the golf course. You think there's not a golf course like that anywhere that is only worth $18 million. That's an insane way to say that.
You could do that in Wisconsin. It'd be worth more than $18 million just from the land alone, for Christ's sakes. So that's all the 4 cases. Now, the reason why they're having them up here is they're going to start going one by one and how he connected all of them, how many trips he had to the White House. The next thing over the course of the next 2 days will be all the phone calls between a Fannie Willis, between the chick in Florida, between the D.C., between the thing in New York City. Who was on that New York City case that you said? It was Comey's daughter.
It was Comey's daughter and Jack Smith.
But there was one more who
I can't remember what was the name of that guy who was a fucking.
He worked for the Obama administration.
Yeah, he was a prosecutor. He was an U.S. attorney, assistant U.S. attorney under Obama in D.C., and then he got, I don't know, transferred to the New York City DA's office, which that's not even a transfer. That's like you quit, you resign, and then you go take a new job somewhere. What was the guy's name?
I think it was the black guy, right?
No, I don't think so.
Wasn't Preet Bharara, was it?
Hang on a sec.
I'd remember Preet Bharara. You can play that song. Yeah. Thank you. I'd remember that, dude. As this would have gone off in my head. I would have sang that.
Matthew Colangelo. So Matthew Colangelo left the U.S. Attorney's Office as a prosecutor in late 2022 to go to the SDNY Southern District of New York to become senior leader under Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, and he was specifically brought on to investigate and prosecute Donald Trump. So Obama/Biden sent him there.
Right.
To be clear.
Yep.
Like there's no fucking attorney who gives up his dope ass U.S. attorney's job in fucking D.C. to go. I mean, he was like one of the top U.S. Assistant U.S. attorneys. He was on track to be USA, like a U.S. attorney, or to be possibly involved in the administration or even higher at like the attorney general level at some point, maybe 10 years down the road. That's who that guy is. And he decided, or rather he was assigned to the New York City Southern District Prosecutor's Office. It's
Shocker.
insane. Yeah.
Shocker. Now you can play the Blenny Johnson clip next because they're just grilling this motherfucker. It's a lot of stammering. It's a lot of uhs and ahs and all that other shit. The stunned look on his face for the audio listeners says everything. First of all, he's one of the ugliest people on the planet. And ugly people, no offense, it's really hard to have sympathy for them. So when you see this guy, not only do I fucking hate him, but everybody else hates him. And now he's forced with a camera in his face all goddamn day long. That's probably why he feels also so uncomfortable. Is there is just no angle to catch this guy at in a good light. Play this clip.
Yes, sir, we did.
Yes, you did. And the subpoena covered the time period between November 2020 and January 2021. Is that right?
I'm sorry, sir. Could you say that again?
We're not going to delay like this. The subpoena covered the time period between November of 2020 and January 2021. How many days after Kevin McCarthy was sworn in as Speaker did you subpoena his records?
I don't recall, but those two things had nothing to do with one. It was
16 days after becoming the highest-ranking Republican in the House of Representatives. You subpoenaed his toll records. Do you agree that that might reasonably be considered a violation of the speech or debate clause?
I do not, and I want to be clear that the toll records...
You were collecting months' worth of phone data on the Republican Speaker of the House, the leader of the opposition, right after he got sworn in as Speaker, all around the time of a major vote. That sounds like a flagrant violation of the speech or debate clause to me, and I think most people agree with me. And Speaker McCarthy had no recourse, did he? Because you issued a non-disclosure order ensuring that neither he nor any of the American people knew about these subpoenas. Is that right?
The toll record, the non-content toll record subpoenas, we did secure non-disclosure orders for those subpoenas.
You did. And let me ask you, Mr. Smith, at the time you secured those non-disclosure orders, was Speaker McCarthy a flight risk?
The non-disclosure order was based on concerns about...
Was Speaker McCarthy a flight risk?
He was not.
He was not. Then why did your non-disclosure order refer to him as a flight risk? It says right here, the court finds reasonable grounds to believe that such disclosure will result in flight from prosecution.
Sir, when securing a non-disclosure order, the risks don't have to be associated.
You think that the Speaker of the House is a flight risk?
The question?
No, this is not your time. This is my time. You think the Speaker of the House is a flight risk? You think he's going to hop on a plane and leave the country?
No, what I was trying to explain is with respect to a non-disclosure order, the risks aren't necessarily associated with the subscriber to the phone. They're the risks to the investigation.
I think that you were using, this was clearly in reference to Speaker McCarthy, and you were using clearly false information to secure a non-disclosure order to hide from Speaker McCarthy and from the American people the fact that you were spying on his toll records. But I've got more, so let's move on. In May of 2023, you also issued subpoenas for toll records of 9 U.S. senators and an additional representative. Is that right?
In May of 23, we did issue...
You did, and there were non-disclosure orders in conjunction with those subpoenas as well, right?
That's correct, consistent with department policy and the law.
So again, nobody would know what you were doing. The senators would, and the representatives would, and the American people wouldn't know what you were doing. Is that right?
The toll records that we secured and the non-disclosure orders were consistent with policy and consistent...
And you knew whenever you were doing that there was a risk you were violating the speech or debate clause. Is that right?
The toll record subpoenas that we secured were with the concurrence of the public integrity.
Your own analysis says that you knew there was a risk you were violating the speech or debate clause. I have it right here. This is an email from John Keller at Public Integrity Section to your team. As you are aware, quote, as you are aware, there is some litigation risk regarding whether compelled disclosure of toll records of a member's legislative calls violates the speech or debate clause in the D.C. Circuit. That's from your own analysis right there. So you did know, didn't you?
Sir, with respect to the item you just put up on the screen, the last sentence states...
oh, we're going to get to the last sentence.
Okay.
We're going to get to the last sentence. And you cite case law in here, quote, the bar on compelled disclosure is absolute. Is that right? Or do you think that you didn't have to abide by that precedent?
To be clear, this statement is not from my office. This is the statement of the public.
This is your justification for those subpoenas and NDOs that you ordered. This was part of your analysis. It's a cursory analysis. I think it's worth noting. But let's get to that last sentence then. Quote, given my understanding of the low likelihood that any of the members listed below would be charged, the litigation risk should be minimal here. In other words, you're using a novel legal theory, which you knew was novel, has never been tested by any court. You're not charging any of these members. Nobody's going to know about it because you issued NDOs. Nobody's going to sue about it, so who cares? We're going to do it anyways. I mean, you walked all over the Constitution throughout this entire process.
Mr. Chairman, the gentleman's time has
spying
expired.
on members of Congress, and you know it. It's absolutely disgraceful. I yield back.
Gentlemen,
Okay, you can stop there. So the reason I wanted to play this clip in particular, the beauty of doing a live show every day on Drinkin Bros is this is exactly what Dan said. As this was happening in real fucking time, nobody listens. Nobody fucking cared. And unless you drag this motherfucker up here and get these exact answers out of here, you probably think he's fucking crazy. But you did say this as this was going on, especially in regards to Speaker McCarthy. He wasn't a fucking flight risk. He wasn't going to leave the goddamn country. And you had told everybody in this audience that the dates simply did not match up and they simply didn't have time to review any of these fucking materials that were thrown their way to defend themselves.
No, of course not. I mean, but this tracks. This is kind of like how people try to use the legal system very frequently. Like, think about how Obama and team had access to the files that proved that the Russia collusion shit was a hoax 7 or 8 days before, and decided not to use it, one, to stop the report from coming out, which is what a normal person would do. But even when, subpoenaed later on, and you'll probably hear some more of this in the coming weeks, let everybody know that, there wasn't time. There wasn't time. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is how these bad actors always operate.
Every single time there isn't time. Hey, man, we got this NDA, but it's for the other thing. And then also you got to sign this. Did you read the material we had to you? No. Look, we've been in a million lawsuits and all this other shit. Ironically, not for fun. They were just looking for money and frivolous shit and everything else. These lawyers will deliberately go up to the last seconds before they're supposed to give you discovery, anything else for your entire team and yourself to review it before you can issue a response. By the time that you're able to issue a correct response or file something else to try to give yourself some more time, sorry, you're out of time. Now apply this to the federal fucking government, which was Jack Smith and Joe Biden at the time. None of these fucking people had a chance to answer any of it, and they were fucked. Now you drag this motherfucker up here today. He's stammering and fucking oohing and awing as much as everybody else was at the time, and it fucking sucks. I've always hated this guy. I've always thought he was a huge piece of shit, and he has maximized the law against another party for years and years and years. And I wish this guy was thrown in jail for the rest of his fucking life. We'll see what happens at the end of this. I'm not hopeful, but at least we got some answers today, and for at least 48 hours, because he's only scheduled to go through the end of tomorrow, you'll have sound bites like this. Now scroll up, Bob, and go to that next clip there of how much this was actually costing people financially. And I mean the American taxpayers' money there on C3. This is Jim Jordan asking about it.
How much money did you, how much money did you spend in the investigating President Trump? How much money did your office spend?
I do not recall as I sit here now, but I know that pursuant to, I believe it's the special counsel regulations, reports were issued each 6 months detailing how much.
6 months.
We gathered at $35 million. And what I want to know is how much of that $35 million of taxpayer money did you give to confidential human sources? We know you gave $20,000 to someone. It just got reported last week. How much more money did you pay confidential people we don't know about, with American tax money going after the guy we elected president?
My recollection regards the $20,000, which was not a payment from me. It was me approving a payment by the FBI to a confidential human source who was reviewing video and photographic.
Who's the source?
I do not know the identity of the source.
How many other payments went to this source or other sources?
As I sit here, I do not know the answer to that question. My role as special counsel,
$35 million, and you're giving money to people the country doesn't know who they are, and you're giving their hard-earned money to these folks? The main question I have, too, with this is, why'd you have to do it? You subpoenaed bank records from the RNC, phone records from members of Congress. You got subpoenas for bank records for people sitting right there in the front row. Why did you have to pay people for information when you could subpoena them and get it?
Time has expired.
Time has expired. You can answer the question now. Country'd like to know why you had to do it.
My recollection and understanding is the payment, the $20,000 that I approved, was for a confidential human source to assist in the review of video and photographic evidence showing people who were attacking the Capitol, attacking police officers, obstructing the proceeding, and seeing if we could prove that some of those people had come directly.
That wasn't my question, but my time has expired.
You said Bud? God, I like that. When you call somebody Bud at the end of it, big fan. Now, Dan, you've obviously fought overseas. You've had to give cash, I'm assuming, to sources to get information to help build your case. Why here? Why now for this? When you're able to subpoena everything, I don't really get it.
Yeah, I mean, you would pay confidential informants expenses and living expenses and things like that during the collection process, not after the fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if I was going to tell somebody, hey, this thing is happening, I want you to go embed yourself in it, or you're already going to be embedded in it and you're a primary agent or a secondary agent that I'm talking to, and I want you to tell me what you see while you're there, and you're like, well, actually, I wasn't going to go. I need you to pay for my hotel or whatever. They're not obviously going to book you a hotel with the FBI's credit card. They're going to give you money and let you do it yourself. That's before the fact. I'm not familiar with any standard legal precedent for paying people for information after the fact. That doesn't even, I mean, maybe there's some lawyers here in the chat. I doubt it. Because not because we don't have lawyers in our audience, but because right now they're charging people by the 6-minute mark. Like it's the 15th of an hour.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know you guys are out there robbing people blind right now, so you don't have time to listen to the show. But I've never heard of in the United States paying somebody. Certainly overseas, we would do that. If somebody came to us, I mean, but that's a reward structure, right?
Yeah.
We're paying people rewards. That's not confidential informants. If a confidential informant, you might pay prior to, right? But you don't pay them after the fact for services rendered. That doesn't make any sense. No. The people that we paid was our S2 shop would develop our intel, and we had a company level intel center as well. It's like, we want to find this guy, we want to know who's living in this area or whatever the fuck, and then we would broadcast that out through the city, and if people came to us with credible information, then we would pay them, right?
Right.
And we had that all went through our S2 shop. We would get the information and give it to them. They would we had a room downstairs where we would sit them down and let them talk face to face with our THT and S2 shop, and they would determine if it was right or not. But yeah, we wouldn't give people money and then say, hey, go find me some info. So, and it's reversed in the U.S., right? And in the U.S., it's like, well, I've got operating expenses. I need to be able to do this. I would love to hear from somebody who works in U.S. law enforcement and prosecution, because I've never heard of anybody being paid after the fact for information.
I haven't either.
That's very odd to me, you know.
Yeah, and 20 grand's a lot. And when it's undocumented like that, like I'll tell you in Hollywood perspective.
Well, there's a 302 file for every confidential informant. There's no such thing as a payment being authorized by the federal government to leave the federal treasury and go into a private citizen's hand without a 302 on it. And that 302 is going to have a code name. And then there is a separate register that has the code name used for that person, so the courts can identify who they are should they need to. But yeah, there's no payment before the fact at all, and there's a record of where the payment goes to always. This is nonsense.
Yeah, because on the Hollywood side of this, we had an oh shit fund. It was an envelope with just cash in it, and it was to bribe people in case there was problems. So if you were shooting, they would turn on a lawnmower next door and just leave it running in the front yard. Nobody was actually doing the lawnmower, so you couldn't get sound. And we would have to go and pay these fucking people out of it to turn it off. That's the only type of shit I can remember, not in a federal case with endless subpoenas. You could ask for whatever you want if you're Jack Smith. I don't understand that.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe this is a thing, but I've never heard of the FBI paying somebody, like, as a reward. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's not necessary. You're not a confidential informant. He's talking about confidential informants, right? Like, after the fact, you get registered as a CI, then you can get paid. But there's still a 302 file. There's a file on that.
Sure.
At the very least, it would have a code name. That's like, there's no such thing as just like Jack Smith unilaterally deciding to write a check to somebody for $20,000 because the information was important. There's nothing legal about that so far as I know.
Yeah, very bizarre. And then the last clip we'll play from today is from Overton, if you want to play that clip, Bob. Because shit is still going on. It's getting pretty tense. And somebody screams out something from the back of this place. I'm not sure how they let people in. Is this like normal trials where you can kind of wait and then, whoever gets in, gets in?
Yeah, usually I think you get sponsored by, you get invited by a member of Congress to come view the committee hearing or something.
Really?
Like that, yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Press play on this.
The fault does not lie with Donald Trump.
Turn this up.
It lies with Yogananda Pittman and the U.S. Capitol leadership team. We know they had the intelligence, and there was going to be a high propensity for violence that day.
At that guy.
Claim my time, yeah.
You will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. We've had some disruptions already. We don't need that. Let the gentleman may continue.
We default.
Who screamed out, go, somebody from the crowd screamed out, go fuck yourself?
Yeah, it was that J6 cop. And I don't actually know how to say his name. Michael Fanone, Fanone, however you say it. And then he and this former Special Forces major, Ivan Raylik, I think, or Raylik. I don't remember how to say his name. I met him a couple times, but they got into a little dust up afterwards.
Oh, I've got the video. Play it, Bob. It's right above that. It's right above that Overton clip. Is this what this is? I didn't know what this was, so
yeah.
I was unsure. You know these guys?
I know the bald one.
Okay. Press play.
The other one is the J6 cop who's full of shit.
Okay.
Who's just an absolute liar and grifter.
Press play. Somebody screaming, no shame here?
Yeah.
My children, threaten my rape my children, rape my children, you sick asshole. Rape my children.
Yeah, he's just mentally unstable. So I guess he's referring to...
What is rape his children?
He's referring to like death threats and weird shit people said to him on the internet, I guess. And I don't know what that's got to do with Ivan. He certainly didn't do any of that. He's just like telling him to shut the fuck up and act normal because you're in public.
Okay.
You know? And he's like, yeah, these people did this and this, you sick bastard. Like, yeah, well, I didn't. Just
calm down.
Those people aren't here right now, so shut the fuck up.
Some people in the chat are saying Ivan, he's a G. You know that guy?
Yeah.
You know Ivan? Okay.
Yeah, he was a Special Forces major. Hung out with him a little bit in D.C. this past year. But, yeah, this guy's Michael Fanone, whatever. He's one of the guys that had a heart attack after or something, or he said he did. I don't know. There's a lot of smoke around him being totally full of shit about all of his accounts. Also, a lot of people think that he was an FBI plant, which him showing up to this is not a very good look for him, to be honest.
No.
That's like coming back to the scene of the crime in a lot of ways. But he's definitely tried to exploit, like he's tried to write books about this, and he kept changing his story and all this stuff. And then, you know, it just like the way it happens, people get on teams and stuff and just completely change the way they think about the world. So he's super anti-Trump and he's a Nazi. He's even wearing a shirt, that Dropkick Murphys shirt that says fighting Nazis since 1986 or whatever it says, some stupid shit like that. The Dropkick Murphys are
they're anti-Trump.
They're just a bunch of clowns, yeah.
I saw them in concert here in Austin, and they went on a fucking 5-minute tirade of how Trump is the fucking devil.
No one cares.
No, just play fucking Shipping Up to Boston.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's called for like banning assault weapons, whatever the fuck those are. I mean, I can assault you with anything, I guess, but yeah, he was part of the Back the Blue org, I think, for a while, and then has spent the last couple of years talking shit about police. He was urging people on his podcast recently to just start shooting ICE agents in defense of Second Amendment rights. Yelling at critics during events. I mean, he's just like a super emotional guy because he knows he's lying. I mean, you see this a lot with people who are carrying a lie for a long time. You get super angry and defensive about it. You have to, because it's not a real belief. I've got a piece coming out about this on when is it? Byron Wednesday, probably, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday. It's why do smart people believe dumb things? because it's true. I mean, if you think about it, the cults, the people who are in high levels of government, the people that were like 2 weeks to stop the curve and shutting stuff down and all this stuff, they're smart people. They're not dumb. You know what I mean? They're like intellectually, they're really smart. The problem is they're engaged in something called amathia. It's like this Greek intentional ignorance. It's a Greek word for intentional ignorance, basically. And your brain, once you accept whatever lie you believe as part of your worldview, then it starts to slowly, sometimes quickly, but usually slowly become a part of your core identity. And then when somebody attacks the idea, it feels like they're attacking you. So this guy has built a lie for himself, and it's become his identity. And now anytime anybody corrects him on his lie that he's based his entire worldview on, then it feels like they're like literally attacking him as a human being, right? That's the psychology of it is very interesting. Tune in Wednesday next week for a better description. Obviously, I go a lot more in depth than just that, but it's that's how it is. And for a lot of people, and it's not just people on the left either. It happens all over the place, but it is a very unique psychological phenomenon that's been going on. Like it was identified by Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle 3,000 or 2,300 years ago.
I've got a theory on it. Let's take this Jack Smith case today. Everybody on the left, a lot of people, I should say, still believe the January 6th thing, and then the Trump trials, which is what he's essentially testifying on the Hill about today of why all these trials happen.
I mean, even Trump is susceptible to this himself. He was at Davos this morning, despite having a pretty good day yesterday, talking about Operation Warp Speed and how good that was. It wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's part of his worldview, and that's he engages in this a lot. If somebody attacks Operation Warp Speed, he gets really angry about it. It's like, well, I mean, it wasn't good, dude.
Well, he was on the clock for it, so
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's
and again, in regards to Jack Smith with all his fucking bullshit, like, unless he goes to jail or something happens, no one will ever actually believe what transpired over the last 4 years against Trump. And this is my biggest fucking complaint with the GOP. These fucking hearings are nice. They're fun for podcasts. We can play the clips and everything else. We all know the real truth. But unless he actually spends real time in prison, none of this shit will ever fucking end. And these dickheads will continue to keep doing it over and over and over again. And, you know, again, it'll be a fun story for 48 hours. But unless this guy gets real jail time, which I truly, in my fucking bones, believe this guy deserves, it's just another fucking dude from the left who's going to put shit on the right, and then they'll do it again because they didn't get anything.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I do think I agree with the idea that he should be prosecuted. I think it's pretty obvious that he's full of shit and has done some things that warrant it. But there's I was going to say it in the negative, but I'll say it in the positive way, actually. And when I say positive, I mean affirmative. We know for an absolute fact that punishment itself and then levels of punishment are not a deterrent, right? So even with capital murder in states, the fact that a state has and uses capital punishment has no effect on the murder rate, not at all. And arrest and stuff like that, arrest can help for sure, but there's no the level of punishment doesn't stop assholes from doing asshole stuff. It is you have to build systemic bulwarks against it. So, for example, one of the most brilliant things that Elon did with Doge, one of the things that can't be undone, because some of the stuff technically by the next administration could be undone, was simply requiring that people fill out the box that says what the payment is for. Mm-hmm. Now the system won't work unless you do that, which wiped out, I think, like 20% of the fraud that was going on just because people were sending payments through. And if you don't have, I mean, if you've ever managed QuickBooks or anything like that, or any kind of system, you know that if you don't put a payment code in or something like that, or if you've worked with, let's say Epic, the medical software, any of those database software things, if you don't put in a code for what you're spending the money on or sending the payment out for or sending the invoice out for or anything like that on either side of it, the system won't work, right? So that's what you have to do with government. You have to create systems that are undefeatable unless somebody defeats them publicly. You know what I mean? Like, you can't create a system where people can defeat the system behind closed doors, because then they will do it. And whether you prosecute them or not, some new asshole will always come along and try to do that same thing, because it is behind closed doors and it's a calculated risk. If you make sure that the system can only be defeated in view of the public, then that risk becomes way too high, right? So it's even the idea of getting caught, getting indicted, and then getting punished, that's still all a calculated risk. I mean, think about the murder situation in the United States. What is it, like 50%, 60 maybe get solved? I think 60%.
Yeah.
And the vast majority, I think like 70% of the ones that get solved have the direct eyeball witness.
I was going to say, you guys do this all the time on Crime Corner, Byron.
Yeah.
What is that number? Because I hear you guys talking about
I mean,
it.
I don't know it off the top of my head, but it is a very large number. A
Yes.
majority of murder cases in America don't get solved.
Yeah.
And Dan is right.
Well, the
If
ones
they
that
they
don't have a direct eyeball witness, the
yeah,
majority
they have
of
to have
those
some
don't
type
get
of
solved,
direct
yeah.
evidence.
Yeah, and then J. Todd Welch in the chat here says put federal records on a blockchain. That's the only way I can think of to make that permanent, right? Blockchain is in like every crypto transaction gets recorded on the blockchain somewhere. It's a live data feed, basically. So, you know, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you have to do to be able to make this work. Now, I don't know how you apply that to the legal system necessarily, right? But there have been smaller steps that have been taken recently. For example, the news media keeps making shit up about what ICE is doing, just lying, outright lying. The one yesterday was ICE arrested some 5-year-old.
Yeah, I saw that.
What actually happened was they pulled over the car that his father was driving. Okay. The father's an illegal alien with criminal charges against him, so there's a warrant for him. The guy jumps out of the car and leaves his 5-year-old in the car.
Yep.
So one of the officers stayed with the child, and they took pictures of it and pretended like they were arresting a 5-year-old or separating from his dad, when in fact the dad is the one that ran away.
Correct.
Right? So in response to all of this stuff, in response to that one bird-looking white lady on CNN who's always chirping about stuff, the podcast one.
Yeah. She's trying to be the left Joe Rogan. That's the woman I'm talking about.
There's a Homeland Security's made a website now that has all the people they arrested on it and what they've been charged with. Literally all of them. So it's like now you can go see it. And that's, you know, something, I guess. I just don't know in law enforcement, like how do you stop? We already have a lot of processes in here. I guess maybe it's about monitoring them because, like I said, the standard for this stuff, no, it is not Sweet D, although she is a bird. The standard for this stuff is that I want to use a confidential informant and I have to fill out a 302 and I have to get that approved. Like you as a special prosecutor, this isn't ancient Rome. We don't have dictator roles here. There's still a process by which you have to get warrants, by which you have to clear whatever you're doing, but certainly by which you have to justify any kind of money you might spend. So I don't know. I don't know enough about that legal system to know about this stuff, but I do know that lawfare has been used. Punishment is something that is on the table and should be done. However, it's not enough. Like you have to force these people into a funnel where at some point they have to break the law publicly or in view of the public or something like that where it's not behind closed doors. That's what I think.
So I'll go back to the top of the show, what I said about optics. Optics matter, and I think the psychology of this matters. I think one of the things that the Trump administration did a fantastic job was when the immigration shit started, was putting these videos out with CCOT and everything else. We played those on the show. Murders. And you were talking about the death penalty earlier. As a kid, and this, I think because I lived in Florida for that 1 year, was Ted Bundy and the execution. And all I saw, even as a kid on the news, because we didn't have the as many channels and all that other bullshit as we had today, the execution of Ted Bundy went all the way up, and you had these people or whatever. And I remember asking my parents, I was like, is he going to die at midnight tonight? That's what they were, keep pressing on the news and all this other shit. And they were like, he is. And I go, what happened? And they were like, he murdered a bunch of people, was a bad person. And you can never, ever do this, or this is what can happen to you. It scared the shit out of me. That I was like, all right, great. I don't know, whatever that is, I don't ever want to do that. And I think with Jack Smith and some of these other people, there has got to be some form of fucking retribution here so that these motherfuckers never, ever do it again. And there's got to be some seriousness behind it. Otherwise, it's never going to fucking work. What was the thing today with Don Lemon, for Christ's sakes?
Oh, yeah, some Muslim magistrate judge refused to sign his indictment, so he won't be charged yet, but I think they'll do a grand jury on that.
Which I hope. Otherwise, you just showed the world that you can get away with this shit.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, so the reason that broken window theory works is because it keeps honest people honest, right? So, yeah, it does have a psychological effect. But people like the Clintons and the Obamas who had this, they use the intelligence community and foreign intelligence communities to try to upend, and foreign intelligence communities and foreign governments even, if you include Venezuela, to upend and upend an election and conduct a coup, right? That kind of person isn't going to be stopped by this stuff. So that's what I'm saying. There still has to be more to this. And people like Jack Smith, who are sycophants, who let their political ideology rise above their principles, are always going to exist. That person will break the law no matter what. If they think that if they pick a winner, right? This happens in palace intrigue all the time. You pick a winner and you think, well, as long as they win, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know,
they chose the wrong guy.
Yeah, and there were a bunch of dipshits on the right that did that too. And I'm not talking about people who walked through the stanchions on January 6th, but people who were fucking swinging on cops and shit like that.
Yeah.
First Trump said not to, right? So don't pretend like you did it for him. But yeah, that person really thought, those people rather really thought that as long as Trump wins at the end of this, I'll be fine. And that's how people like Jack Smith feel as well. And you can't punish your way out of that. You have to create systems that are better, more resilient.
Well, speaking of winners and losers, that'll bring us to our first sponsor of the show, MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles that first deposits all the way up to $1,000. I usually say get off the couch and get into the action. This weekend, with snow in the forecast for most of the country, we're all staying on the couch and getting into the action. I'll be doing it from my cell phone here, live on air. Look, it's going to be a banger this weekend. AFC, NFC championship. New England Patriots versus the Denver Broncos. Broncos are without their starting quarterback. Bo Nix broke his ankle, so he is out. This is New England -5.5. And then the Rams at the Seahawks. I think that injury, that oblique injury, which takes a long time to heal if you've had one of those in real life, I think they were able to get Sam Darnold through this, but it'll be a mighty, mighty task overcoming this Rams team here to get to the Super Bowl. Therefore, I have the Patriots and the Rams advancing to the Super Bowl. Bob, who you got?
Same. Yeah, Pats Rams. That's who I'm rooting for, and that's who I think is going to win.
I do too. Now, Bob, they always ask us to do a partner pick, which pays an extra 15% if you bet on the pick that we have. Hit up my bookie. Let them know my partner pick is the Rams +2.5. That is what I'm all in on. I just simply think the health is being hidden by Durr. And the weekend before, they were playing an even more injured team than the Seahawks and the 49ers there. So that score was obviously brutal. And I fear that you might have two similar outcomes this weekend. I hope they're great games, but we'll see. So go ahead and lob that in. That'll be my partner pick this weekend on mybookie.com. Give me the Rams +2.5. I am all in on that, and I'm going to money line both of these. I don't need the spreads or any of that shit. I think it's going to be the Rams against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And again, we're going to be all snowed in this weekend. So, yeah, dude, I can watch uninterrupted 8 hours of football, and my wife can't say shit. I love you, Jesse, but she's not a big football fan, which hurts my soul. Bob, is your wife a football fan?
No, not in the slightest.
God, it sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, I just tell her, especially with Mizzou games, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything for the next 5 hours, so.
I'm going to the panic room. You can fuck off. I get it. Go to mybookie.com and on the promo code Drinkin Bros to double that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Next up, the Greenland Deal, possibly. Donald Trump says an agreement with NATO and Greenland will give the U.S. full and permanent access to the island as Defense Alliance's Secretary General said its members would have to step up their presence in the Arctic. A day after backing away from his threat to use tariffs as leverage to seize Greenland, a largely self-governing part of Denmark, and ruling out the use of force, Trump said on Thursday that the framework deal would mean total access with no end and no time limits. The U.S. president had on Wednesday hailed the ultimate long-term deal that he said would settle the transatlantic disputes over Greenland following weeks of escalating tensions that risk the biggest breakdown in the transatlantic relations in decades. But the precise terms of the agreement apparently struck between Trump and Mark Rutte, Secretary and General of NATO, remain unclear, and the Danish government said there was no question of compromising Denmark's or Greenland's sovereignty. What do you expect out of this?
Well, I mean, so far what I've heard about the deal, and it's Rutte, by the way.
Rutte? Come on, man. We're not doing that bullshit.
He seems like a nice guy, though.
Sucks dick for a living.
He really doesn't like globalists, and he doesn't like how weak Europe is right now. So I do like that about him. But yeah, so the deal that was announced is that, well, it wasn't really announced so much, but the deal that's been leaked is that the United States gets full access to Greenland to put military assets wherever we want.
Okay.
I don't know what that means necessarily, but certainly it would be part of the Golden Dome, as I mentioned yesterday. 2, Denmark will still be paying the people of Greenland $600 million a year, not us, for the land, I guess. I mean, I don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't either.
3 was we have some access to their mineral rights, I guess, but I think it was more along the lines of we're gonna create them, or help them rather create a sovereign wealth fund. Probably this is my take. I didn't read this anywhere, but this, based on what was said, this is what I think would happen. We would create a sovereign wealth fund for them. The United States would pay for a bunch of mining infrastructure and stuff like that, and be a partner in that. And I'm guessing Denmark would also be a partner in that. But the people of Greenland would be the main benefactors, meaning they would get paid dividends from their energy and mineral extraction in the same way that like Alaska does, or Saudi Arabia or something like that. Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, Kuwait, pretty much the entire Middle East. Those things, and then of course the U.S. would pay $0 for any of this, aside from just the technical costs, the logistics for everything. That's what was floated. Now I don't know what the hell is actually going to happen. The government, let's see, we can negotiate all political aspects, security, investment, the economy, but we cannot negotiate our sovereignty, is what Denmark's Prime Minister Frederiksen said. The Danish defense minister named Paulsen said Rutte cannot negotiate on Denmark's or Greenland's behalf. However, Paulsen did say that Rutte was working loyalty to maintain unity within NATO, and it was very positive that the alliance wanted to do more to strengthen Arctic security. We are in a much better place today than we were yesterday, he said. There was another point I forgot to mention, that part of the deal that Rutte negotiated would give the United States access to the entire Arctic Circle. So that would mean multiple other Northern European countries as well. Greenland's deputy prime minister, I don't know what this name is, but they said that whatever pressure other countries may exert, our country will neither be given away nor will our future be gambled with, adding, it is unacceptable to attempt to hand our land to others. So I'm not sure what exactly is true. I don't know who has power here, frankly. I don't know. I mean, certainly there's no constitutional authority for Rutte to negotiate on anybody's behalf. I mean, he can try to build the framework of a deal and pass it on, but that's pretty much it. He can't make anybody do anything.
Here's my guess. I think the U.S. is going to show up, do whatever the fuck we want, and that's it. They're not going to do dick about it. I highly doubt it. There's nothing they can fucking do at this point. It really isn't. And that's never been more apparent than this last year of Trump's administration. The military is far superior. Everybody's afraid of what would actually be done. And the tariffs thing has worked. These motherfuckers caved within 24 hours here. And I don't think they want anything to do with this. They've already got all their trouble, and like you said, their natural gas and all that other shit tied up in Russia.
Yeah.
How can you fuck with the U.S. at this point? I mean, it would crater all these economies.
Yeah.
We're the ones holding all the cards here at this point, and I think the U.S. is going to show up, drop some troops, do whatever the fuck we need to do, and then move on with our lives, and this will be a non-fucking story.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, interestingly, France interdicted and boarded a Russian vessel carrying sanctioned oil today, which is what we've been fucking asking them to do. Now, they don't buy any Russian oil, but they do buy a lot of uranium and LNG. So about 28% of France's energy still comes from Russia today. So, I mean, Macron made this big post on Twitter about it, you know, we're not going to stand for this or whatever the fuck. I'm talking about Russia, obviously. It's like, well, you kind of are.
Yeah.
27% standing for it, you know. It's kind of, but at least that's a trend in the right direction. I'm fine with that. They can, you know, get their little last fucking quippy comment in at the end as long as they do what they're supposed to do. Same thing with Germany. It's fine. Now, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this. What Trump said was we're going to have total access to Greenland. We're going to have all military access that we want. We're going to be able to put what we need in Greenland because we want it. We're talking about national security and international security. We will have everything we want. We're getting everything we want at no cost. It's really being negotiated now, the details of it, but essentially it's total access. There's no end or time limit, not a 99-year deal or whatever. It's permanent.
Yeah.
And then he said, what I mentioned this yesterday, but everything comes over Greenland. If the bad guy starts shooting, it comes over Greenland at about 11 minutes before it hits us. So, yep. We'll see.
No, that's what I fully expect here. And... man, why this hasn't happened sooner, I have no idea. I really don't. If Russia's this huge threat that Obama and everybody else has said over the years, Republicans do, Bush, everybody else, okay, cool, man. If they are, why didn't we do this sooner? We're doing it now. I think we'll have full access to everything we need, and that's it. What is there, 48 dudes from NATO over there?
Yeah, they said they're going to send more, but I mean, I don't. And then they, you know, at the same time say that this isn't meant to be some kind of challenge to the United States. We're like, well, we know.
No, we know that. Yeah, you have 48 dudes there.
Yeah.
Shit. It's like I saw you respond to somebody regarding Canada earlier on Twitter, and I was just like, hey, we could have the entire country if we wanted to in 48 hours. So they can shut the fuck up as well. I just don't understand this brash talk on the stage when it's like, no, you're not actually going to do anything. Trump is the only one that I've ever seen that actually does shit. So sorry about it.
Yeah, somebody, God, who was it? I think it was David Sachs was talking about him the other day, and somebody was asking him at the WEF what's notable about Trump, and he said he's just like always acting. Somebody will come into the office, and we're in the middle of a meeting sometimes, and it'll be about one thing, and somebody will say, well, our real problem is this, and Trump will just say, hang on a sec, let's get this guy on the phone, he can help with that, and I'll just call him right then in the middle of the fucking meeting. It's like that's a businessman, that's what he does, right?
100% true.
So, you know, I mean, it's good for now, for sure. I mean, we need, the only issue is we need more of it, but I'm trying to be patient with this because it is a lot of stuff. I mean, the country has been pretty fucked up for a long time, so it's going to take a minute to get us out of here. The issue that I'm concerned about isn't even really the midterms. It's like who's going to be in place after Trump to keep doing this.
Yes.
Because obviously we've shown that it works.
But it's more than 4 years.
Yeah, like it's a highly effective, well, I mean, not even just to fix the country. This is how it should be dealt with
forever.
Always, you know, just like you see a problem, and instead of having 10 months of meetings about it, you're like, hey, I think this guy might know how to solve it. And it wasn't just, it's business people, it's different senators, it's people in foreign countries. That's kind of who you want in charge of your shit, to be honest. You know what I mean? You want that guy with the right kind of people around him giving him advice, or at least showing him the right problems to solve, I guess.
I've been to the White House for 2 different administrations, and I've asked their aides the same thing. I go, what's the difference between the two? With Trump, they said he will listen to people's feedback and everything else. If he likes your idea, he doesn't give a fuck who you are. Great, let's do that. And then it's very impulsive. Go execute it and get the fuck out of here and let's do it. With Biden, it was crickets. Hey, man, we don't know where he's at. We don't have access. There's meetings on the books. Every morning we wake up, those could be pushed depending upon how he's feeling and all this other shit. So we don't really know what the fuck is going on. The
worst thing that can happen to an organization is that nobody knows who's in charge.
Yeah. With Trump, you know who the fuck's in charge,
Yeah.
and he doesn't give a shit who you are. If you've got the correct answer, great. Go do that and go execute it. Now, if you fail, you're fired, and rightfully so. If not, congratulations. You're moving on up, and he'll be loyal to you forever. And loyalty was the one thing that I heard out of all of their staffers. And they were like, dude, it's loyalty, man. If you can execute it to what you just say you were going to do, that's it. Just like any other job in America. Just execute your job the way that you say you can do it. Awesome, man. I'll fucking ride with you forever. If you cannot and you are a fucking liar, you are gone. And it is that quick. And I agree with that. That's how to run a business. And America is a business at the end of the day. Next up, advertiser-wise, we got ketone.com/Drinkin Bros. 30% off your subscription order. Plus, receive a free gift with your second shipment. Or find Ketone IQ at a station, at a store near you at Target. Are they at Target now? God damn, dude. Look at them. Growing in the world. Yeah, Target. Target stores nationwide. And you get a shot for free. All right, what is that shot? I got it right here. You can pan out of that if you want and get out of that. Yeah, see these little shots on the screen here. I keep these on my desk. I take one every single day, dude. When I'm doing podcasts or if I'm writing late at nights, it's a clean shot of energy. This is the raspberry lemonade. It's my favorite. I'm almost out of this, by the way. I got to reorder some, and boom. I'll take it live on air. This is how much I love this fucking product. I literally drink this every day. I'm going. See you later. Keeps you locked in, keeps you focused. High performance energy, backed by science. If you're out of gas mid-workout, perfect. This will fix the fuel. And a double-blind, placebo-controlled study on trained athletes. Ketone IQ delivered 19% increase in average power during repeated sprints, 13% peak power versus placebo, 10% less fatigue, 5-time increase in blood ketones within 20 minutes. Some might say higher because I'm already jacked up after taking it. I love it. What I really love about it, though, is it's not like the shit at the gas station that makes you jittery if you're like you're going to have a goddamn heart attack. And it's just, for me, just clear focus, dude. It is fucking brain power for me. Obviously, I'm not hopping on a bike in a Tour de France. Am I playing in a fucking pro game here in a couple weeks for the Arena League football? Yeah, I'm doing that, dude, for the National Arena League. You're goddamn right, I'm going to take a shot of this before the game fucking starts to get locked in. But this is tested amongst the military as well. Ketone IQ was developed through a $6 million research contract with the Department of Defense, born from battlefield science, built for peak performance here. And it's the best in the biz if you want my opinion, man. Visit Ketone IQ/Drinkin Bros for 30% off your subscription order. Plus, receive a free gift with your second shipment, or find Ketone IQ at Target stores nationwide and get your first shot for free, the one that I just took right there. It's excellent. Again, no crashing, no fucking heart attacks, no jitters, any of that other shit. I know a lot of people are getting into the ketone business right now because it's helpful, man. And it goes right into your system and you are ready to rock without feeling like a crack addict. I can promise you that. Next up, cousin fuckers is our story here. The NHS is investigating after midwives were reportedly given official training materials suggesting there may be potential benefits to marriage between first cousins.
Yeah, now this comes after.
That's not true. This is why we call this fake news. Is this a real news story?
The NHS is the National Health Service. That's England's or the UK's like health service. the emergence of the guidance document, which was released after a Freedom of Information request, has prompted alarm due to the increased risk of genetic disorders, obviously among children born to consanguineous parents or related. Now, Keir Starmer, who's the Prime Minister, if you don't know, of England, actually blocked a vote to ban first cousin marriage not long ago, which is interesting. That's a choice to make, I suppose. And just to validate what we're saying here, Bob, you want to click that first Twitter link? We'll just list. This is a news report from a lady talking about it in England. Very interesting. Yeah. And by the way, in the UK, a child of two first cousins has a 6% chance of inheriting a recessive disorder compared to 3%. But the other disorders are quite a bit higher. Play this video.
Britain's National Health Service says marriage and procreation between first cousins can be beneficial, and the risks have been, quote, exaggerated. New documents show that the NHS guidance to midwives states 15% of cousin couples have children that are affected by genetic conditions, compared to just 3% of children born to unrelated parents. However, the guidelines then go on to describe the benefits of cousin marriages, saying it can provide financial and social security and generate collective social capital. Sickle cell disease, cystic fibrosis, and muscular dystrophy are some of the genetic issues more common among the children of closely related parents.
Okay, with everything that's going on here, is this remotely fucking true?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. Despite the evidence that banging your first cousin creates problems, let's say, the NHS training document noted that, quote, 85 to 90% of cousin couples do not have affected children, and said close relative marriage is often stigmatized in England. The guidance also suggests that, quote, any discussion of the potential risk to a child of first cousins must also be balanced by the potential benefits that come from collective social capital of such a relationship. It also suggested that marriage between first cousins could provide, quote, financial and social security at the individual family and wider kinship levels, and added that there had been, quote, unwarranted narrow focus on close relative marriage. Now, who do you think all this is for? Why all of a sudden is the UK on one side trying to ban this shit, and on the other side having their institutions defend it? Who could this possibly apply to?
Can I just take a wild guess and say Muslims?
Yeah.
Yep. Holy Christ, man. There's no fucking way that this is really going on.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're terraforming their country for retards.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
They're telling you that it doesn't matter that their culture wants to destroy yours. You just and it's rude of you to say that it does. Basically, not just rude. We'll have to come arrest you if you do. So I don't know. Like you can see the beginnings. Remember, we talked about this a year and a half ago. Italy had a big problem with immigrants, right?
George Clooney had to move.
Yeah.
'Cause they were in his fucking backyard.
Yeah. But also that island was sending people to fucking Sicily all the time.
Yep.
And a couple of other places that Italians own. And they elected a right-wing person, and she shut that shit down. You're starting to see it move in the right direction. Orban's always been on that tip, but you're starting to see it move in the right direction in Poland. They've gotten pretty harsh against it lately. Czech Republic's gotten pretty harsh against it. And now France and Germany as well are starting to make moves here and there. So definitely people are responding to it. The one country that's not responding in any way is England.
Mm-hmm.
They are doubling down on wanting savage retards.
Correct.
To invade their country. I just don't
But why?
understand.
They don't provide anything. They don't provide anything financially other than maybe votes.
Well, England is the center of the imperial world, and that old school imperial world, you know what I mean? Like imperialistic, like the ideology from Rome that everything's a vassal state to us. It still exists in the world, and it's primarily now focused on globalism. Like we want to create a global order, and it's very much alive in England, and there's very little resistance to it. That's why you see so much of this stuff happen in England specifically.
So I was actually looking at this story last night. I'm going to read you some stats here. And then, Bob, I will send this chart to your DM so you can put this on screen. Because I was stunned when I saw it. There's obviously a bunch of people that are fighting this in every single country in Europe right now. You know, going to their parliament, going to their fucking bullshit people and voting. And this is countries with the most Muslims in Europe. And this will be a 2050 projection based on what is going on now because these motherfuckers repopulated record growth. Germany, 17.49 million. That's number one. UK, 13.48 million Muslims in their country. That's number two. Now, the UK number means more to me because they don't have that many citizens. So, like, are you looking at more than 50% then at that point?
No.
How many people live in Europe? I mean, I'm sorry, England.
Yeah, well, that's not just
70
England. That's
million
the UK. That's all three.
Okay.
Ireland, Scotland. And,
what are they? 70?
70. Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Oof. That's one out of every 6.5.
It's almost
will be
20%.
Muslim. Yeah.
It's like 19%.
France, 13.21 million. Italy, 8.25 million. Sweden, 4.45 million. Spain at 2.81 million. Netherlands, 2.79 million. Belgium, 2.58 million.
This is a 2050 projection.
Totally.
Not right now.
But it doesn't matter. This is the whole point of this that was presented to the board was if we do not stop this now, this is what's going to happen in our fucking country.
Sure.
That is why there is an urgency to get rid of these fucking people now.
It's interesting they haven't included Russia in this because right now Russia is sitting at about 20 million already.
But I think they're just using them as bodies.
Doesn't
I hate
matter.
to say it.
They made them citizens.
Well, for now, for the war, right? Hey, go to the front lines, go get killed. You're all done. And then afterwards, we're going to get you guys the fuck out of our country. Because let's face it, Putin and all those guys are hardcore, old school Catholic. They're not going to have this bullshit.
They're
in their
Orthodox.
country.
They're not Catholic.
What does that mean?
Orthodox Christian.
Oh, what's the difference?
It's, I mean,
Do you
it's
allow
not
Muslims
Catholic.
in your country?
No.
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 So they're going to kill them.
No.
And they don't have a fuck about. They don't give a fuck about killing them over there.
I don't think that's going to be the case. They're going to have to fight. So the Russia's been fighting Muslim extremism in Chechnya for fucking decades.
So I didn't know about that. What's the situation then?
Chechnya is part of the Russian Federation. It never left after the Cold War ended, and they're not too psyched about what Russia did to Afghanistan and the other stands, which is like just fucking fly Hindy helicopters over them and light their fucking villages up so they would get out of the way so they could put their pipeline through it.
Okay.
Yeah, they work together now a little bit, but they still fucking hate Russians. And it's been a problem for a very long time, since the 1970s.
And they haven't corrected it.
No. Well, what are they going to do? I mean, they've definitely bombed Chechnya plenty. And Chechnya has definitely retaliated from time to time. Now it seems like they're being kind of friendly, but that ain't gonna last.
Yeah. And then Texas is having their own fucking problems right now, dude. Nobody's really talking about this on a national level. We hear it here. It's on the local news all the time. That city, that epic city that they're trying to build, supposedly being shut down, might not be shut down. And yeah, dude, it's gonna get fucking worse here. I just don't understand why people don't see it. Like, you see all the videos on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Police don't go into certain areas in a lot of these fucking countries because that's where these fucks are living.
Yeah, they call them no-go zones.
Yeah. So what I don't understand is, are you that dumb? And do you believe in your politics that much in your team? And I'll use air quotes on team that much that you're like, yeah, man, it's not in my backyard yet, so fuck it. They can just live there, and we'll just kind of rope it off, and we'll just never go there again.
No, it's not. It's not even that. It's like their brain has been infected, and they now insulate themselves from believing it's even real. That's why you have this, like the biggest cognitive dissonance pathway that I've ever seen in human civilization, to be honest. And it's like, this isn't happening. It's only happening a little bit. It's happening, but it's good. And you're a racist for saying saying it's a problem.
Right.
That's the 4 stages, basically. And people really buy into that stuff. I'm telling you, their brains have been infected by postmodernism, and it's almost like, I don't know. I really don't know exactly how to solve that. It's part of it is like, let them be exposed to what they've created, so they can see why it's stupid. Because what you're not going to do is strip voting rights away from people just because they're dumb. That's not going to happen.
No. But as far as the rest of this shit here, man, you're not going to find out until it's too late. And it's starting to get to that point. The clock is ticking.
Well, that's how
too late.
Bob knows this. This is how the Crusades always go.
Yeah,
it's how it always goes. I mean, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and people either ignore it or whatever else. They're making deals with the invaders, and then before you know it, they start doing shit that is truly unacceptable, and you've let it grow to such a problem at that point that there's only one way to deal with it.
But we're seeing it now with Trump. I mean, you're having a mini crusade in Minneapolis right now. And you still got all these fucks, these white people out there defending these dumb motherfuckers and these Somalians.
I mean, it's only liberal women.
It is, but that's
Right.
that's a big part of your population.
It's liberal women and low testosterone men. That's the support group basically for these people. Especially liberal women. Again, their poor brains have been so fucked with hormonally, with all the birth control stuff, being told that wanting to have children makes you a brood mare for the state, stuff like that. It's like, man, I mean, you took it's probably the most special thing that would ever happen to them away from them. And now who are they going to get mad at? They're not going to get mad at their own side for doing that to them. So they have to somehow internalize that anger and then push it back out into the world somehow. And this is how it comes out. It comes out as a bitter, resentful woman. And it sounds like somebody whose life has been taken away from them, but they're only like 35 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, that's rough. I mean, in a lot of ways, I pity them.
I do not. It's going to ruin the fucking country. 1, 2, there was a video that went viral about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, of would you let one of these people inside your house? The answer was a resounding no from every single person. A few of the women stated, you're going to have to ask my husband on that one. I was like, So you're out here today all day while your husband's at work saying, we want to protect these fucking Somalian retards. Great. Would you have them live inside your house? No, I can't do that. There was a couple dudes too. They were like, not at this time. I've got to kind of check on my financial shit. And it's like, well, who the fuck else is paying for this? So don't really get it. Speaking of paying for shit, that'll bring us to our next advertiser, AmericanFinancing.net/Drinkin Bros. All right. Interest rates for the last few years have been and continue to be high, which has forced most Americans to reach for credit cards to cover their bills. Credit card debt has reached an all-time high and is trapping Americans. AmericanFinancing.net/Drinkin Bros can help homeowners pay off high-interest debts by using their home equity. Home equity right now, and the interest rates are 6%. Credit cards are between 23 and 30 is the newest stat I read this morning. American Financing is a family-owned lender. It's been around for 25 years. American Financing is licensed in all 50 states. Their mortgage consultants are salary-based, so there's no incentive for them to put you in a loan that doesn't make any sense. Their customers, on average, save $800 a month. That is simply in interest fees when you call and let American Financing help you. They don't charge you any upfront or hidden fees to find out how much you can save. You may be able to close in as fast as 10 days. You also may be able to delay up to 2 mortgage payments, creating even more savings up front. They've helped hundreds of thousands of homeowners create meaningful savings, and it's reflected in the reviews on Google. Call today at 866-887-2275. That is 866-887-2275 or AmericanFinancing.net/Drinkin Bros. Their Better Business Bureau disclaimer is at NMLS 182334 at NMLSConsumerAccess.org. As always, Bob puts these links in the audio and video description. Next up, murder rate plummets. Murders across the United States dropped last year to a historic low, according to researchers, marking a dramatic turnaround after violent crime surged in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic as left-wing leaders espoused ideas like defunding the police departments and releasing repeat offenders without bail. The Council on Criminal Justice report weighed crime statistics from 40 cities that have reported monthly data for the last 8 months. It found that 11 out of 13 crime categories dropped in 2025 compared to 2024. 9 of them dropped by 10% or more, including homicides, which saw a 21% drop. President Trump promised to bring back law and order to the United States of America, according to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. This is what happens when you have a president who fully mobilizes federal law enforcement to arrest violent criminals and the worst of the worst illegal aliens. Now, Trump obviously campaigned on this and ending crime and illegal immigration and all that other shit. It's working. And for the first time ever, I don't know about you, but this was reported by ABC News first that I saw this morning. Then NBC and everybody else picked it up.
Yeah.
Why are you not championing this as your top story tonight versus all the other bullshit?
Well, you know, I think it wasn't. I don't remember who broke it first.
I saw this on ABC News this morning.
Yeah, but I think it was ABC, but whomever it was that broke it first. So I know it wasn't or CBS because of this, but whomever broke it first, they didn't mention Trump in it. No.
They just said murder rates were down.
Yeah.
They didn't say what the effect was or who did it and why.
Yeah, it's very odd. That's an odd thing to do. That's like the whole like some people did some things or whatever kind of situation. But yeah, of the 35 cities covered by the CCJ report, Denver saw the largest decline in homicides at 41%. Washington, D.C. and Omaha tied for second at 40%. L.A., Buffalo, Albuquerque, Long Beach, Atlanta, Baltimore, and Chicago also saw declines of 30% or more. A couple of cities did see increases, actually. Little Rock, 16%, Fort Worth, 2%, and 1% in Milwaukee. And I think those are the only major cities that saw increases. Violent crime fell to its lowest level since 2019. Car thefts fell by 27%. Burglary and shoplifting each dropped by double digits. Let's see, what's the other one? 67 of the largest police agencies throughout the U.S. Provided similar data through the Major Cities Chiefs Association, and stats. They concluded a nationwide decrease of 20% in homicides was the case, and then the FBI's countrywide statistics for 2025 haven't been released yet, but based on this data from the Major Cities Chiefs Association, it is expected to show the same results: 20% decrease in homicides, which is the largest decrease in living memory.
Yeah.
You would think that you
would celebrate this.
I mean, sir, I think they are celebrating it, but I saw Chris Cuomo talking about it. He goes, this was part of a trend that was already going on. It's like, all right, man, cool. So you're saying that Trump just continued doing what Biden was doing? Is that it?
That's the intention.
Like, of course not. Of course not. And a 20% decrease in violent crime, a 20% decrease in violent crime and 40% decreases, 30 to 40% decreases in murder rates in major cities across the U.S. is not a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Policing didn't change all of a sudden. The only thing that changed between last year and this year is Trump being the president, right?
Right.
Like there's been no change to state funding of police, aside from states that tried to defund them and decided to come back, but most of that happened in 23 and 24. You know, I don't know. You would think that this is the problem with these folks. It's like no matter what he does, they can't accept it. They can't accept that he's done something good for them because it shatters their worldview, which means you now start to align yourself with bad outcomes.
Yeah.
That's not smart. Smart people can believe it, though.
And take Chris Cuomo. Bob, go to your Twitter DMs right now. He had a comment last night that I was less than thrilled at. And, you know, people are like, oh, he's changing. He's not fucking changing. Again, press this clip right here, because this is part of the problem.
You see this clip of Scott Jennings saying, how are you going to enforce it? How are you going to enforce me not saying the word illegals anymore? How are you going to do that?
Say illegals anymore, because ICE is directly targeting legal citizens of this country, and I
How are you going to enforce your edict on me, just out of curiosity?
Listen, I understand.
But just listen to his point about illegal.
What are you, bully now? What are you, tough guy? Because you're talking to this kid who happens to be right, calling people illegals. They're called illegal aliens in the law. And you know what? A long time ago, Republicans and Democrats switched to undocumented. Why? Because it seemed inhuman. That's why. They changed the vernacular, and you know it. But that's not the point. The point is, how are you going to do it? What are you going to do? What are you? You're a tough guy now, huh? I thought you were just supposed to be the simpering, but, you know, open to conversation Trump defender. Of course, I remember you when you said he was like the worst thing in the world. But everything's convenience these days, right? It's getting you paid. But be careful.
Including this. This
you
is
be a tough
convenience
guy,
right now.
There are plenty of tough guys out there. You want to see how somebody can make you stop saying illegal? And then what are you going to do, sue? Tough guy. How are you going to enforce that? So if somebody beats your ass because you're being rude and disrespectful and causing division in this country that's causing distress and pain all over the streets and making people want to hurt one another, if you really want to be a part of that, as the expression goes, FAFO, don't be a tough guy. Make tough points. But remember to be decent. You're not a tough guy, okay? You're a guy with slick to the side hair, a slick tongue, and everybody knows what you're doing. Don't be a tough guy. Not you.
So with this fucking asshole, first of all, no one on the right has switched to undocumented. I've never fucking subscribed to that goddamn word ever. You cross the border illegally, you are an illegal immigrant. That is it. Illegal is in that word because you're here in this country illegally. That's first. Second of all, you want to talk about bullies? When somebody confronted you in the street in your fucking bullshit Hamptons house, when you were with your kids and you were getting ice cream, you folded like a goddamn lawn chair. So shut the fuck up, Chris Cuomo. Fuck you and this whole goddamn rhetoric. Nobody has changed from this. And until it actually affects you, your wife, or your goddamn kids, you can say undocumented all you want, but I promise you, if they actually came inside your house and did damage to you or your family, you'd call them illegal in 10 fucking seconds. Like, I'm tired of hearing this shit from people. Let these people do their goddamn jobs and shut the fuck up. That's all I got to say about this, man. Because my comment on here was nobody switched the word undocumented on the right. It'd be like me saying that you weren't fired from CNN like you were. They just undocumented your contract, which they did. There's no documents. You don't work there anymore. Now you're at Newsmax and you can spew this shit.
News Nation.
Whatever. That's how fucking much I listen to the goddamn network.
Yeah, Newsmax would not have him, obviously. But, yeah, I don't know what... I'm not sure what his point is. Like, there's some kid who's telling Scott that he can't...
He's not a kid. He's a grown-up.
It doesn't matter. It's like you're trying to tell him you can't say that anymore. It's like, well, who are you to tell me I can't say that? What's your enforcement mechanism for that exactly? And I think it's a question worth asking because leftists in this country have tried to bully people by threat of force, whether it be political assassination at the very high end, but cancellation in the mid-range. I mean, that's been a pretty go-to thing for them. And Scott Jennings cannot be canceled because he doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So I think that's a reasonable question to ask. Like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Is it?
Or what is the question? And, I don't know if Scott Jennings is a tough guy or not.
He's not. I'm sure he's not. Just by his build.
But, I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe he does jujitsu on the weekends with his buddies, dude.
I am. They're illegal immigrants. And Chris Cuomo, you can suck my dick.
Yep.
If somebody wants to come fight me because I'm saying a word that's in the fucking Immigration and Naturalization Act, that's going to be, that's a weird hill to die on. You know what I mean? Not literally die, but that's just such an odd stance that you can't say that one word anymore that's literally still part of the fucking legal lexicon.
Yeah.
Like, okay. The fuck are you talking about? It's
The
just-
other problem I have with this statement is saying we've already changed this vernacular. That's incorrect. You and the media have changed the vernacular.
Well, he
You
has-
change it every single fucking night.
He hasn't actually, because as recently as like 21, he's on. There's somebody actually posted a clip in response to this of him just saying illegal, illegal, illegal over and over again.
Oh, really?
So he doesn't even believe this shit.
I'd love to see that clip.
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
Anybody that's trying to control or change language is never good.
No,
that's never been a good person in the history of human beings.
No. Our last story today is do no harm. New York City detectives say they were treated rudely and disrespectfully last week after they were mistaken for federal immigrant ICE agents while asking treatment at a hospital after an arrest. The officers went to NYU, Langone and Cobble Hill Hospital in Brooklyn after a fight with a drug suspect, the New York Post reported. Hospital staff were nasty to the officers in the waiting room, accusing them of being ICE and suggesting they go elsewhere. They properly identified themselves. One source added, it's despicable to attempt to deny care or suggest they go anywhere elsewhere. An NYPD spokesman told Fox News Digital that the hospital apologized to Police Commissioner Jessica S. Tisch over the incident. That's interesting. Bob, I guarantee if you look up Jessica S. Tisch, she is part of the Tisch School there at NYU. That's the school that I was at. That's a highly unusual name, and I would doubt that it's anybody else. Just a guess. An NYPD spokesperson said representatives from the hospital apologized to the commissioner, Tisch, and the NYPD, and said hospital staff had a misunderstanding of their policy. Commissioner Tisch asked that all hospital staff be refrained to ensure that this type of incident never happens again.
Well, this isn't really a policy issue, right? I mean, that's like saying, that's like doing something that's objectionably wrong and saying, oh, it's part of our policy actually to do this. The policy for all healthcare professionals is do no harm, and you're expected to treat people regardless of what you might think of them. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if somebody murders a bunch of people and then the cops shoot him and they bring him into the hospital, you're required to treat them.
Yeah.
I don't really care for that, to be honest. I think that you should just double tap that person in the head and be done with it. But that's not how the law works, and it's certainly not how medicine works. I mean, that's the very first rule. So, no, this isn't a policy issue. It's not a misunderstanding of policy. It's a misunderstanding of what it means to be a human being, frankly, right? And all of these people should have their medical license pulled. Nurses, doctors, whomever was involved in this, every single person. Not fired. They should have their medical license taken from them because you have betrayed the oath, the Hippocratic Oath. Like, you've made this is like the ultimate sin when it comes to being in the medical community. Absolutely not.
It's crazy.
And then I would say the same thing about this woman. Excuse me. Lexi Lawler, which sounds like a fucking professional wrestler, but she's a labor and delivery nurse at Baptist Health Boca Raton Regional Hospital. That's on Twitter. It's Baptist Health SF, if you want to go ask them what the fuck she was thinking. But she posted a video saying she hopes that Caroline Leavitt suffers a 4th-degree tear during her childbirth and has medical complications.
Jesus Christ.
She says, I hope you fucking rip from bow to stern and never shit normally again, you cunt.
Who said that?
Her name is Lexi Lawler, and she is a labor and delivery nurse at Baptist Health Boca Raton Regional Hospital.
Is this on Twitter?
Oh, yeah, it's all over. You type in Lexi, Lexie, Lawler, and you can hear her say it. Or just go to Libs at TikTok. I mean, she posted it.
That would be as if I said, hey, I hope one of these fucking Muslim rape gangs that come up to you rip your asshole from fucking from the inside. I mean, this is crazy, dude. Oh, she said it on video?
Yeah.
Play the video. I'm sorry, I didn't see this. I haven't heard about this story.
As a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline
Turn this
Leavitt
up.
a 4th-degree tear. I hope that you fucking rip from bow to stern and never shit normally again, you cunt. As a labor...
Whoa. Wow, dude. Gone. She's got to be fired tomorrow, I would imagine, and forever.
Yeah, fired's not enough. I mean, she'll fall into obscurity somewhere, and somebody else will hire her. No, she needs to have her medical license revoked.
Yes.
Whatever license. I don't know anything about this actually. I know from nursing or what the different levels are for different specializations. But whatever it is, she's got to be blacklisted. She can't work in medicine. You can't work in medicine and say things like that.
Wow, dude, that's fucking insane. All right, well, that's where we're at here. That's where we're at in this country, and I'm sure this will be dealt with in the next 48 hours. It has to be. You can't say shit like this.
We'll see. I mean, you're always welcome to go onto their Twitter page that I told you. And
she's still active?
Oh, and I don't know about her, but I'm talking about the company.
What's the name of the company again? One more time.
You can see it right there.
Baptist Health SF.
Okay. Oh, San Francisco. No?
South Florida.
South Florida, huh? That's odd. All right. Yeah. Lexi, enjoy your weekend. Sure, it's going to be fun down there for you. All right, kids, now's the point we get to the Drinkin Bro of the week. Bob, go to drinkinbros.com. Pop it up there. God, the joggers, dude. It's cold outside. Get the joggers. These are the best. Shout out to Brandon for making these. It's hard to make really fucking good, comfortable joggers for the gym and just tooling around. Click on that picture, Bob. We got them in a bunch of different colors there. So there's some Hardy F ones. There's some Drinkin Bro ones. They got them everything across the board, dude. And I just got... Shit, I've been wearing the Drinkin Bros ones for over a month now. Hardy F ones must be new. That's why I put them on the homepage. Crime Corner's got their own section over there. There's no Drinkin Bros. Foamy hats are dope as shit. The Leering Center t-shirts have been selling like crazy there. So you can buy those Drinkin Bros Leering Center shirts. Big fan of those. And the Bro Box next month, you cannot miss. It is for Black History Month. It is one of the craziest boxes we've ever made in the history of the show. We will get that fixed in 26, I have a feeling. And, yeah, the Rainbow bag was fucking awesome. If you thought that box was dope, this next one, there'll be a lot of comments online about it. Can't wait to see them and a lot of pics. Don't miss out on this Bro Box on drinkinbros.com. Also, you can submit for Drinkin Bro of the Week on the app on iPhones and Androids. It is free. Anthony and I pay for it, and it's got the old school wall for Facebook from 2008 or whatever. There's no admins. You can keep posting. People will help you out. There's also 30 seconds of video now, so you can post video if you want to. Some of the videos been wild as shit. Love to see it. Titty Tuesday is always fun over there, and it's free on iPhones and Androids. Plus, you get to listen to the podcast. Podcasts are all in there. Every single episode we've had on Drinkin Bros. And you can listen to it ASAP over there and submit for Drinkin Bro of the Week. All right, this one that's just got emailed to us is Drinkin Bro submission, Duncan Harris. Oh, shit, from the UK, United Kingdom. Listener for 9 years. All right, shit. What up, Duncan Harris? We appreciate it, dude. Wants to nominate George Howe, who is deceased. Sorry about that. He says, hi, Ross. I would like to nominate George Howe for Drinkin Bro of the Week. A great, great man, father, husband, grandfather, and friend of many, taken suddenly from us last week in his home in Chicago from heart failure, which was a pre-existing condition that he was scheduled to be operated on, which sucks the most. The world couldn't have lost a nicer man. George was born and raised on the north side of Chicago. He's worked at WLUP, WXQX, and WIXN, WRCV, and the Chicago Sun-Times newspapers. All of those are, by the way, broadcast networks. He has a 30-year career as a flight attendant with United Airlines and continued to write for Suburban News and Journal and Topics. George was extremely active in his local governments and was a park commissioner in Western Illinois. He was a big Chicago sports fan, especially one of his favorite moments, recording the infamous Lee Elia rant in the Cubs locker room. Do you know what that is, Bob?
The what rant?
Lee Elia?
Not off the top of my head.
Me neither. I don't know that one. We know a lot, too, about Chicago sports. George and his old college friend Ken also hosted their own podcasts. A chance encounter brought them back together after 43 years, having both worked in radio. That's amazing, man. He's an amazing human. Our hearts go out to him and his loving wife, Mary, and his sons, George. Georgie and Danny, and to all of his grandchildren, family, and friends. Please down a few hard AF seltzers in his honor and complain about how shitty the Bears are. Hey, you had a decent year this year. I'm not going to do it. All right? Mm-hmm. See what happens with nail polish up there. Georgie would appreciate that. Rest in peace, George. The world lost another great man. Cheers. Cheers to you. Thank you for the submission. Thanks for listening to the UK over there. I'm surprised the show airs over there, to be honest with you. Fuck, I'm surprised they didn't pull it from iTunes and Spotify. All right. Well, cheers to you, Duncan Harris. Again, you can submit for Drinkin Bro of the Week on drinkinbros.com. Love to hear from you. If you're out there, don't want to buy anything, can't afford anything. I get it, man. Times are tough and jobs and all that other stuff. Just make a review. That's all we ask. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For Anthony Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.